Hey foodie friends, so today we're gonna make a quick and easy chicken cordon bleu. Now, let's get saucy. All right, foodie friends, like I said, quick and easy chicken cordon bleu. I've already set up my breading station here. I have some flour, just all-purpose flour that I've added some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder too. Just gonna give that a quick mix. And then here I have one egg that I beat up with a little bit of water. I'm gonna also throw in some pepper and some salt to that. And then my last one over here is my breadcrumbs. So I have panko breadcrumbs in here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of, I have some Parmesan and Romano blend here. I'm gonna add a little bit of that. I'm gonna also use this for a sauce later. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of this in here, give that a quick toss to mix that in. If you're doing, I'm not giving you measurements on this because it depends on how many you're making. That'll be on the recipe on the website, but just enough to bread your chicken. I'm doing for 2, so it's just enough to bread these 2 pieces of chicken that I have here. I already have here some chicken breast that is thinly sliced. So you can either do that, buy the thinly sliced chicken breast, or you can just get regular chicken breasts and cut them yourself. Just kind of cut them in half, crosswise, and pound them out or whatever you want to do. But I found it was easier just to grab these already thinly sliced chicken breasts. So each one of these is going to get breaded. It's going to go in our flour first. So the flour is going to help the egg to stick, and that's going to help the breadcrumbs to stick, of course. So I'm going to do wet hand, dry hand, keeping one hand from getting clumped up with all the breading stuff, right? Because if you are dipping this back and forth into the wet and the dry, it's gonna clump up. So get that coated with flour, shake off the excess, and then we're going into our eggs here. We're gonna just go ahead and coat this. So this is a quick and simple version, right? Chicken cordon bleu, typically you're gonna do the chicken breast, you're gonna roll up the ham and cheese inside of it, and then you're going to either bake it or fry it. It's gonna take a little bit longer. This is going to take 15 to 20 minutes at the most to get these done. So that's really great. Now I'm in my breadcrumbs here. I'm gonna put this down, put some breadcrumbs on top, make sure that I'm getting a good coating of breadcrumbs on here. I'm gonna press it in. This is again the breadcrumbs with the cheese added. Like I said, I have the Parmesan Romano blend. If you just have Parmesan, that's fine, whatever you want. You don't even have to add that. I just wanna add a little bit of extra flavor. And we're gonna make a sauce, cream sauce with the cheese too. So pressing this in, I'm gonna turn it over, do the same thing. I'm gonna throw some more of this on top and press this in and get this nice and coated. I have a rack over here, a baking sheet with a rack on it. I'm just gonna land this on there and let this sit. I'm gonna turn my oil on. I have a pan with oil over here and some butter, just some regular vegetable oil and some butter so that can start getting hot. And then my second piece of chicken, same thing. All right, hands are clean. So now, like I said, we're gonna serve this with a salad. So I'm gonna make a dressing. You can buy a dressing if you want. I'm just gonna make a quick lemon vinaigrette. Super simple, super easy. I like making dressings at home because you can control what goes in them. So I have here a little mason jar with some garlic infused oil. I did some garlic confit recently and I kept the oil. So there's a little bit of oil in here. I didn't really measure it. I like to kind of go with a little bit more of an acidic vinaigrette. So I'm gonna put about a 1-to-1, maybe a little bit more. So let's see where my oil is. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour in some lemon juice, and you can use fresh lemon juice if you want. I'm using bottled. I'm gonna go about the same amount of lemon juice as there is olive oil in there, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, kind of up to you, whatever you want. And then super simple, I'm just gonna throw in some salt and pepper. You could do some like Italian herbs if you wanted to make it a little more herby, whatever you want. I'm just going really, really simple with some salt and pepper and a little bit of Dijon to kind of emulsify it. You could, like I say, you could whisk this up in a bowl. You could do this in a food processor if you're making a bigger batch, but I like to just pop it in a mason jar, throw the lid on, give it a good shake, and you've got a really simple, quick dressing. We'll just let this sit to the side while we finish everything up. We're waiting for our oil to get hot here, so give me a couple minutes, we'll come back and we'll fry up these chicken breasts. All right, foodie friends, our oil is good and hot. I'm gonna just show you, I've got my breadcrumbs over here. Just drop a few breadcrumbs in there. They kind of sizzle up. I don't know how closely you can see that, but they start to sizzle up right away. We know our oil is good and hot. So we're gonna put our chicken in here. I'm gonna do these one at a time. If I had a bigger skillet, I could do them both at the same time, but I don't. So one at a time, get that in there. I'm gonna get it nice and brown on one side, flip it over, brown it on the other side. It's gonna take like 3, 4 maybe minutes on both sides. Again, really, really thin pieces of chicken. If you were doing a whole chicken breast, split it in half, like lay it on its side, cut it open like a book, pound it out thin if you want. But I just had these thinly sliced chicken breasts. So I'm gonna brown this up on both sides, do my second one, and when I'm done with that, we'll assemble it, pop it under the broiler, and then make our salad. We're gonna be eating in no time at all. All right, so I think our chicken's about ready to flip. It's been cooking on this first side for a few minutes. It's getting this nice, beautiful golden brown, look at that. And then you can hear that sizzle as we flip it over. You can bathe it in a little bit more of this oil just to help get some of those more blonde parts browned up, but you can also flip it another time if you need to. We're just gonna let this brown on the second side, and then like I said, I'll do the second one and we'll come back when I'm ready to assemble it to go under the broiler. All right, foodie friends, so our chicken is beautifully golden brown and crispy, so I am just going to now take a slice of ham, and this is just a package of deli ham that I got at the store, super simple. You can get whatever kind you like. This is just regular ham. Black Forest would be nice, whatever you want to get, whatever's at your local store. And then typically Swiss cheese, I like Gruyere, so I found this Swiss Gruyere blend that I really like. And it's already shredded. You could do slice, whatever it is. So I'm just gonna pop this on top, and then I already have my broiler set to low. So I'm gonna pop these under the broiler, let this cheese melt, and then while that melts, I'm gonna make a quick sauce to go on top of this and mix up our salad, and we'll be ready to eat in no time at all. Again, like I said, super simple, super quick. This is, obviously if you're making for 6 or something people like that, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but really, you're ready to have dinner in 20 minutes, and if you have a larger pan, you can do more of this, more at a time. You could deep fry them if you wanted to. I just like to do a quick pan saute with them, kind of shallow fry. So under the broiler with these, and then we'll go ahead and do our sauce. We're gonna do a quick little pan sauce here. Super simple, super easy. I've got some half and half. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just gonna pour some half and half in here. I don't know, quarter, third of a cup, whatever. I'm gonna throw in a tablespoon or so of butter, and I use unsalted butter all the time, as I say, so probably gonna need to add some salt to this. I am also gonna add some of this Parmesan cheese blend. It's Parmesan Romano, so I don't know, a couple tablespoons of that in there too, and some Dijon mustard. So I don't know, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, and just whisk that up. Let that butter melt, let everything get hot, come together. It's gonna thicken up. Then we'll give it a quick taste, see if it needs any salt. I have done this before and it did need a little bit of salt. Again, like I said, I don't use salted butter. If you use salted butter, you might not need to add any salt to this, but super simple, super fast. So our sauce is bubbling away here. I'm gonna give it a quick little taste, and it needs a little salt for me, and a couple of grinds of pepper in there. And that's it. Super simple, super easy. That sauce is ready. All right, so literally no time at all. You can see my chicken over here. The cheese is nice and melted, golden brown. I have here just a baby spinach and arugula mix. I love the peppery arugula with the richness of the cheese and this cream sauce. So it's gonna cut through a little bit of that bite of the arugula. So just gonna throw that in there with salt and pepper. Guys, when you're making a salad, salt your salad. You need some flavor over there too. There's nothing, there's flavor in our dressing, obviously, but always add a little salt and pepper to your greens as well. And then our dressing here, one more quick shake for that. And we're just gonna pour a little bit of that in here. I don't want to overdress it. I like a decent amount of dressing on my salad, but you don't want a soggy, wet salad. And then this, go in the fridge. This is great for any kind of salad. Lasts for a while. You'll have a nice, delicious homemade salad dressing, and you know exactly what's in there. You don't have a bunch of sugar and preservatives and stuff in there. So you got a healthier salad dressing, which I really like. And it was super simple. You saw how fast that was to go together. So just tossing our salad here. My hands are very clean, of course. That's delicious. Wash my hands and we'll come back and plate this up. All right, so I've got my plates here and we're just going to quickly plate this up. It's super simple, obviously, nothing fancy. Well, you know, it is kind of fancy, but nothing super fancy here. So just put each one of our chicken breasts on the plate and I'm just gonna pour a little bit of the sauce right over it, right? You don't have to get a spoon out, don't have to do anything like that. And then if you wanted to, you could throw some parsley on top of there or whatever, but you've got the greens from the salad. We're just gonna pile the salad up right on the side here. And this is a really delicious, simple, easy dinner for weeknight, or again, you could do this for company. It would be great for a dinner party. Wash my hand one more time and then I'm gonna grab a fork over here and get a taste of this. I've made this a few times, so I know it's delicious, but you know, we gotta do an on-camera bite. That crispy chicken, that melted Swiss and Gruyere cheese, and that Dijon cream sauce, so delicious. Our salad here, I already tasted this earlier, but you really can't beat that homemade lemon vinaigrette, slightly emulsified with that little bit of Dijon. It's absolutely amazing. Guys, thank you as always for joining me here on Getting Saucy with Chef Lynn. There will be a link to the full written recipe in the description box below. You can follow me across all social media at Chef Lynn Wheeler. And remember, keep exploring, keep tasting, and keep celebrating the flavors that bring us together. See you next time.